Happy hour at the Cardinals continues at Minsky's Pizza and Liberty. The happy hour itself will last until 7 o'clock tonight, but now it's time to visit with a guy that's been instrumental in the broadcast of Jewell Sports. This is my 11th year, and the 11th year for the William Jewell College Sports Network, and Tim Crone has been our color analyst in several different sports for 10 of those years. I don't know why we didn't get you. I do know why we didn't get you right away, but we did try to get you that first year.
Well, you got to talk to my agent. You know, it's all about money. You know, just part of the deal.
Well,
good seeing you, Haas.
It's good seeing you too. Baseball season's coming to an end here. I want to talk about all that, but let me give people a little bit of an idea who you are, and that covers a lot of territory most of the time. But I'll go through just the facts here because they know you as part of our broadcast team so well. A native of Independence, Missouri, and William Chrisman High School, where that led you in your athletic endeavors to Northwest Missouri State, where you played baseball. It was Northwest Missouri State College at that point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of a Bearcat through and through, but then a graduate assistant at the University of Wyoming. You stayed in Wyoming. And
my ears perked up when my young guy there. You don't think that he isn't going to get some press as far as being a graduate from the University of Wyoming?
Right. Actually, he was a graduate assistant there, graduated from Missouri, but nonetheless, and Tim then coached high school sports in Washington, Missouri, Pleasant Hill, Missouri, but maybe most notably at Blue Springs, where you're also the athletic director. And we were talking on the air the other day, how many different sports over the years have you ended up coaching?
I was a head coach in 6. Yeah, I was head coach in football, baseball, men's basketball, which is a story that I'm sure you might want me to talk about, track, boys and girls track, and softball.
Right.
And then I also was actually the head golf coach at Blue Springs for a while. I hired myself, which was one of the best hires I've ever made as an assistant.
Give yourself a raise halfway through the year?
And Tom had a hip surgery, and I didn't want him to lose his pay, so, you know, the whole schmear there. So actually 7. You know, I was thinking about that the other day when you asked me that, but with Tom and golf, it was 7, and it was a great run, and it all helped me, I think, probably more than anything as activities director and athletic director at high school level for a long time.
Tim Crone is our guest, and I'm going to say this and you're going to deny it, but I think it's probably true more than you're willing to let on. While you were the AD, the athletic director at Blue Springs High School, I think that's when Blue Springs started to really become a state power, not just in one sport or 2 sports, but in almost every sport. Is that fairly accurate, again, with all due modesty, that that's when things kind of turned around for Blue Springs?
You know, I don't know about that, but I am real proud of the people that coached there and the kids that played there when I was there. In my, activities secretary, Bart Vance, and Tom Brown was my assistant. And, of course, I got the opportunity to learn from the best with Tom Goddard was the AD when I was assistant AD and still the head softball coach and defensive coordinator at Blue Springs. So, I was blessed. I had great kids. I will tell you this, though. I do think I was at Blue Springs. Life is all about timing. And I think that I was at Blue Springs at the right time, the right place, with the right people.
Well, the right people was largely due to your hires, with all kidding aside about hiring yourself. But you had some very good coaches, and still a lot of those coaches are still there at Blue Springs and winning state championships or competing for them all the time.
Well, yeah, we were fortunate. Like I said, we got good people at the right time in a good place, and it worked out for them. But more importantly, it worked out for the kids. We had a mixture, I don't know if I could even say this on the air, a mixture of minority kids, blue-collar kids, and upper-middle-class kids at the right time, at the right place, for the right reasons, and it all worked out good. I don't think in any level, whether it's high school, whether it's college, or whether it's professional, whether you can – really, you have to be at the right place at the right time where everything mixes at the right thing that you want to try to do, and that's the way it was at Blue Springs.
We talk an awful lot about what it takes for William Jewell College to maybe take the jump and to go to a different level, because frankly we've been struggling in a lot of our sports since we've reached Division II status. You have a perspective on this because you've seen this process. You've been associated with successful programs, college and high school. Give me a little bit of your Tim Crone insight into what you have to do to become more competitive in any organization, sport, whatever.
Well, I think everybody's got to buy in. I think from the custodian to the superintendent, in your case, from the custodian to the president of the university, I think everybody has to be in the same page and have to do the same things, And we all have to believe in each other. There'll be good times, there'll be bad times. And the good times you have to enjoy together. The bad times you got to be back-to-back, wall-to-wall together. And when you do that, then I don't know, you either got it or you don't. We talk about it all the time. And when that happens, you know that it happens. And everybody wants that. But there can't be any petty stuff. There can't be about I. It has to be about us and we. And when you really are committed to us and we and the team, you'll be successful. I've been very blessed to be associated, for example, with Blue Springs High School and the Blue Springs School District. Wonderful people, top to bottom. Blue Springs and Blue Springs South High School were the ultimate, rivals. And also went to school in Northwest Missouri State. And it's not about you or me or I. It's about us. And when you all buy into that and you believe that from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes, you're going to be successful. And nobody's bigger than the program. Nobody. Nothing. And it's hard to do. If you could, people go to Alabama and they go to Ohio State in football and they go to Kansas and they go to Kentucky in basketball and, they go to Arizona State and Arizona in baseball and Southern Cal in those places. And, they get all the talent. Well, why do they get all the talent and why do the people want to come there? Because they know how they're going to be treated and what's expected and what the expectations are. And when you get that, you'll be successful.
You have seen Northwest Missouri State win titles in both football and basketball this year. And you think that puts a little extra pressure on the other schools in this area to emulate that in some way?
Yes.
The
what's wrong with
especially?
That? I totally agree, and I say, what's wrong with that? And now, again, I'm a William Jewell guy, too. I want Jewell to be successful. That's the challenge that I see for them. That's the incubator they're in that they're trying to get to. But if you think about Northwest Missouri State, let's take basketball, where I have personal friends on the team, Jim Finley and his boy right there. So, I'm very close to it. Went up to the regional. There wasn't a kid from Florida. There wasn't a kid from Texas. There wasn't a kid from California. There wasn't a kid from New York. It was a kid from Kansas City and Omaha. That's the kids that played on the basketball team. Now, I will tell you, Texas in football, they do have, some skilled kids from Texas in particular, and one kid from Florida in particular. None from California that are really the big time. But 75% of the football team is from the Midwest here. And, it can be done because it has been done.
Tim Crone is a retired athletic director at Blue Springs High School in Blue Springs, Missouri. He has his own radio show and a newspaper column now. Since you've retired, you're kind of a multimedia guy. But I'm
a poor golfer right now.
Don't look for him on Twitter or Facebook.
I'm having a terrible spring.
Are you really?
Old age. I never thought old age catch up with you, but I think it does.
Yeah, Sam Brown sitting across the table.
I know.
You've always been close to him.
Sam Brown is one of the best human beings I know. And he is a tremendous coach. For William Jewell to have Sam Brown here, is really a true blessing for them. He's a great guy. We ruined everybody with the 7-on-7 league. Wayne McGinnis, I remember in that little place where we started all this 12-month-a-year thing. And I have to say, me and Coach are probably a little guilty of that because, we got that started. I know both of us reflect on that. Is that good or is that bad?
Right.
I don't know. It is what it is, right? And that's where we're at.
Speaking of good or bad, Tim, how do you view, especially at Jewell, the role of the media in selling or promoting or whatever to potential parents, current students, all that kind of stuff?
Well, like Larry Holly and his wife just walked in. He's the ultimate promoter one of the top guys I've ever met as far as promoting. Sam's been there and done that. Sam's been every level, both on the Missouri and Kansas side. But you got to sell your program. You got to make people want to come. You got to make them want to be a part of what you're trying to do, and all of you have to be in it together. And I think the media is really important. I think what you've done, and I think the coaches do appreciate Rick. And I'm saying this, the great thing about not being hired by the William Jewell is that I can say what I think. I think that you really have promoted the athletic program, Rick, and I think the coaches feel the same way for recruiting and making a part of. Where it's touched me, and I didn't know this until I did all this with you for 10 years here at William Jewell, is the grandmas and grandpas, now that I'm a grandpa, and I know my mom feels the same way. She listens to some of the Jewell games now because I do them. She's 93 years old. But you give the people the opportunity to follow their kids in college. And I think grandmas and grandpas and great-grandmas, in my mom's case, I guess, you have those people that love their children, and they want to follow them, and they can't be here they can't come to William Jewell every basketball game or every baseball game or every football game. And you've given those people the opportunity. I know because I get the emails that you get. That makes me feel good because we really are providing a service for the university and the college to reach out and touch everybody in the country. Yeah. We get them from you get the same ones. You send them to me, Texas, California. That's good stuff.
Right.
That's good stuff.
Staying busy. Your golf game's not good, but you're staying busy.
I'm struggling with my golf game. I got to get it going to where I want it to be because I'm going to play in a couple tournaments and it's time to get better. But I had a great Easter with my grandchildren, all 4 of them, and my mom, who's 93, and both my daughters and their husbands. We have a great life. I have no complaints. And getting great friends like you, and we've had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we certainly have. And thank you so much for all you've done. Wouldn't be the same without you. And I know you've done. I'm trying to think how many sports you've done with me. Football, obviously. We did track, I think, at one point, but basketball, baseball. Both women and men's basketball.
Right. You remember our little league swimming? Remember our little league days?
Yeah, tell the tornado story real quick.
Tornado story. I can't believe I stayed in and hung in there with you. We were over in Kansas and doing a little league baseball game for anybody that's listening out there. And I'm looking up the sky, and I keep telling Rick, I said, Rick, this ain't looking good. And it wasn't looking good. And there was a tornado that hit about, maybe 4 miles from us, south of us, at a baseball field we were in. And I'm thinking, what am I doing here? This is a Little League baseball game in a tornado.
You know me, they're going to have to rip the microphone out of my dead, frozen hand.
Rick Cole would do any type of broadcasting in a telephone booth. He would. And I tell people that all the time, and that's why I've enjoyed doing it with you.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Tim Crone with us, and he'll be with us, I think it's a week from Saturday, and Sunday also for our final baseball double hitters in the conference.
We also have a game with Newman on Wednesday.
We're not doing that. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. We are doing that next. Yeah, that's right. And then Northwest Missouri State will wrap up.
Yeah, that'll be fun for me. I'll be there come hell or high water on that one.
I know you will be. Tim Crone, our guest. Thank you very much.